Hello and welcome to the Packerland website's WordPress tutorial. We'll start by taking a look at the dashboard when you first log in to your website. As you are looking here, this is your dashboard that you will first see when you first log into your website. You'll have your at a glance, your activity, your Yoast SEO posts overview, and all of this is just basic information about your website. When we connect your Google Analytics, that will also show up here, and it will give you a basic overview as to what your analytics on your site looks like, how many people have visited, where they're looking from, how long people are looking at your website. The main thing that you're going to be working on are going to be on the left-hand side in this menu. You're going to have posts, media, and pages. These are going to be your three main focuses on how to edit and create for your website. We'll first look at posts. And what a post is, this is where your blog will be generated if you decide to create a blog. You will be creating articles, things that can be reused. And once you click on the name, you will be able to edit it. Or if you look at posts, add new, you click on that and you will get this screen here. You'll be able to add a title and you'll be creating your content down here, and you'll have a lot of options on the right hand side as to how you want to edit your site. So we'll add a title, my blog post, and we'll want to add some content. So you're going to be looking for paragraph, P-A-R-A. This is going to be your wording. And we're just going to grab some text. So we have a heading and some content. Just going to right click copy. And now you see where this plus sign is, and the cursor is on the left hand side here. We're going to paste. We have our heading, which is in H2, and we have our content. If you want to edit the heading, you will use this bar here that pops up whenever you click on a block. So you can justify the content to the right or the center or to the left. You can change what kind of heading it is. The higher or the lower the heading number, so H1 is more important than H2. H2 is more important than H3, and so on and so forth. And this is going to be very important when you structure a page. So if you're going to have headings underneath other headings, you'll have an H2. And then you want to have another heading under this one. You're going to put in, hit the plus sign, click on heading. H2, you're going to change to an H3 because it is nested underneath. And this is my second heading. And as you can tell, the font for the second heading is smaller than the font from the first one. So as you get down, let's add another heading. H4. This is another heading. The font gets smaller and smaller. Now this can be adjusted through some of these options here. You can change the text color, and the default font size over here you can change. However, generally speaking, you want to have your font sizes to be a little bit smaller than the heading above it. Now this is text. This is your paragraph. This is not a heading. This is your basic content of your site that people are coming to read. And you will edit this the same way that you would edit the heading, by justifying it whichever way you want, left, center, right. Highlight an area. You can bold it, italicize it. You can create a link. So we'll go to link.com. It created a link. You highlight it again, click it, and now the link is gone. So you can basically make anything on your website that is text a link. Link.com. And if you're going to an external website, if you're moving to a site that is not on your own, you'll want to open a new tab. That basically means that your website will stay open in one tab, and then the new link will be opening in a new tab in the same browser. If you want to move your content around, click on the block that you want to move, and there's these three dots. You see how the cursor changes to a hand once you hover over it. Click down, and you move it wherever you would like the heading to move to. Similarly, you can click on the arrows to move it up and down. If you want to change your content from a paragraph to a heading, you click on the left icon, and now these are your options to what you can change it to. You can change it to a heading, you can change it to a quote, a list, so you click on list and it puts the bullet point in front of it. You can make it numbered, change it back to a bullet point. If you hit enter, it adds another bullet point. So you type in content, 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 and it keeps adding bullet points. Now you have this last bullet point, you hit the enter button again, and it gets rid of the last bullet point and opens up a new block for you to create more content. If you wanted to add an image to this site, you would click the plus sign, type in image. Now here you can either upload an image to your site or grab an image from your media library. You'll never want to insert from a URL, because if you take an image from another site or another location by taking the URL or the web address of that image, if that image moves or is deleted, then the image will be removed from your site and you will have an empty spot where that image was. So here we'll just grab one from the media library. And we're just going to grab this image here. Select. Now, much the same as your paragraph content above, you can change the alignment, align left, align center, align left, or align right, excuse me. Make it wide width or full width. These two make the image wider, and full width makes it from the left side of the screen all the way to the right side of the screen, regardless of the actual size of the image. For now, we're just going to align right, and we'll be moving the image up. Now, the image is rather large, so there's two different ways that you can resize the image. You can grab it on the side. You see how the icon changes or the cursor changes to the arrows. You can do it that way, or on the right hand side, you can change it to a percentage of what the original size was. And if you want to go back to the original big size, hit reset and it brings it back to the original size. So for this image, we're going to try 50%. So right now, this is 50% of the size that image originally was. And we want it to the right-hand side. So we have heading, heading, content, image. We're just going to remove this. And if you want to remove a block, because we don't need this heading here at all, you click on the block that you want to remove. And then these three dots, you click and remove block. Let's say we want to re-add that heading. Click on the three dots, insert after, because right now we clicked on this block here. We are inserting the heading after this block. It opened up a new spot. click the plus sign, heading. This is my heading. Looks like it's the same size as the one above it. We want it to be the next size down because it is a subheading. So we'll grab heading 3. That changes the font size and makes it lower on the priority list. Now, if you want to preview your post, you will click Preview, Preview in a new tab. And that's going to open up a new window right here at the top of the screen. Now, this is what your post will look like. It's going to have the date, who wrote the post, the title of your blog post, and this is your content. Now, usually with blog posts, on the right-hand side, you'll have some kind of information, whether it's your most recent articles or your categories, keywords, etc., etc. That can be removed by going into the page, clicking in this upper right-hand corner to clear out everything, and then you choose Select Layout. We want it to be full width. We'll preview it again. And it'll regenerate the preview. And now that sidebar is gone. Your content is a little bit wider, and that box that was here originally is gone. You still have the title, you still have the date and the author, and then you have the content. Now, something that is unique with a blog post as opposed to a page, tags. You can add tags. So we'll call this tree, enter, street, enter. So what tags do is it allows your site to be searched for these specific keywords. So if you have 100 articles, but you only have 2 articles that use the word street or tree, people can search your site for those specific articles. Now, when you are all done, you will click Publish if you are happy with the way that your blog post looks. So we'll click Publish. Post has been published. Let's view the post. There we go. This is your post. Now, what a lot of you are going to want to do when you create a blog post is you're going to want to have a featured image. And what a featured image does is it adds an image to the very top of your blog post. So you have this content, you have the image, it'll add an image at the very top here, and that's kind of like your focus image. So we're going to go to the right-hand side options, click on Featured Image, Set Featured Image. We'll grab it from our media library, and we'll just use this image here. Now, it doesn't show up on your blog post page at all, but if we click Preview, Preview in New tab, this is your focus image. This is your image that people will first see before they even read your article. I recommend having one of these images. It'll be resized accordingly, but you don't want it to be too large and to take up too much space. So you want it to be more wide than it is tall. Now, if you are going to navigate away from this page, and let's say you haven't updated it because we didn't update it after adding that image, we're going to click here, and now we're going to get this warning. This page is asking you to confirm that you want to leave. Data you have entered may not be saved. That's telling you that you have changes on this page that have not been saved. We can choose to either stay on the page or leave the page. We can stay on the page, click Update. Post has been updated. Click on this again. And now we're back to our posts. Now underneath posts, you have all posts, add new, categories, and tags. Tags is the keyword structure, and categories is if you decide that you want to have multiple blog posts about different topics on your site. You can create categories for them. So if you have a clothing business and you want to have a category regarding women's clothing or men's fashion or children's fashion. You can do that by creating categories and then assigning the blog post accordingly. So whether you're in the blog post itself or if you click Quick Edit, you can choose your category from this option, from this setting here. So right now in this site, we have General, Front Page Slider, and Blog Post. The blog post is published. We are not allowing comments. And making the post sticky means that no matter how many blog posts you create, this blog post would always be at the very top. This blog post would always be the one that is shown first. You just click that, you click Update, and that'll make that true. If you want to change the author of a blog post, you would just click this, and now I am the author of the blog post. Click Update, and now that's changed. Author name has been changed to me. The next thing we're going to do is look at pages. Same thing, all pages, add new. So we're just going to look at all pages. And we're going to add a new page. Now, pages and posts are almost identical to each other in form when creating a new one. So you have your title. We'll call this About Us Part 2. Now, the important thing when creating a page is whether or not you have it as a drop-down menu item or a main navigation item. And you can choose that by page attributes. The parent page, if you leave it blank, will mean that it's a main navigation page. If we want this to be underneath a different page, this is going to be a drop-down page from About Us. We click on About Us, and now it's a drop-down item. We want it to be full width, no sidebar, meaning that we don't have the sidebar with the most recent articles and the categories and the tags and stuff like that. Now to add the content. It's going to be the exact same way as you added content for the post. Click on Paragraph, and we'll Control V. So I just added that content that I added from the post. Click on the block that you want to edit. If you want to, you can click on a section, and then you can just edit it like you would in Microsoft Word or any text editor. If you want to add a new block, you can click on the three dots, Insert Before. So let's add a heading. This is a heading. It's the same as the heading above it. So we want to change it to heading 3 to kind of keep that structure going the way that I had described earlier, where you have your main heading, your subheading, now your content. You can also choose to add a block from up here. So you hit the plus sign, and now you have a different view of all the blocks that you can choose. If you want to add columns, so we'll go to, just do regular columns, so we'll search. We'll add columns, and now you can choose how many columns you want to have and how it looks. So you can do 2 equal columns, 2 columns where the left column is skinnier than the column on the right, 2 columns where the column on the right is skinnier than the column on the left, 3 columns, and then 3 columns where the column in the middle is wider than the other 2. We're just going to choose 3 columns for now. Now this is going to function the exact same way that it would outside of the columns. Click the plus. Now we're going to have a heading. Heading 1. Hit the plus sign, paragraph. This is my content. Now, if you want to do things like change the style and the height and the font size and the colors, you can do so. And I would recommend, if you're going to keep it uniform throughout, like you should, you can change. Let's do this so you can read it. So now we have a pink background with the white text. You make these changes. So instead of creating a new heading and choosing these options for each one, you can click and duplicate. And now it made the exact same block underneath it. Now this is where you drag to the new section. So you'll take this and you'll drag it over to the new section. You see where the blue line is right above that plus? That's where it's going to go. Now we can do that again. We'll duplicate. We'll grab it and we'll move it. Now we have 3 exact duplicate headings, but we want this to be heading 2. We want this to be heading 3. And now we'll have content under each one. So let's add an image under this. So we'll add image from media library. We'll grab this, flowers, make it small, and we're going to align it to the center. So right now we're taking everything that we learned about creating a blog post and we're adding it to the page. So we're aligning our content. We can align our headings to the center. We're going to align our headings to the center here. And we'll add more content here. We'll call this is more content. Let's say this is the way you want your page to look. We're going to go to preview because we don't want to publish a page without it being the exact way that we want it to look. Preview a new tab. It's going to open up a new preview. And now this is what our page looks like. We have the 3 columns. They look uniform. We have centered content. Oh, except for this one because I did not center it. But we have our main header, our main heading. We have our subheading. And now we have our words and content. These are subheadings. So in theory, we would want these headings to be H3s or H4s because these are subheadings of this. It all depends upon how your site is and what the function of these headings are going to be. Now, if we wanted to, we could have a heading underneath here and call this is section 2. So this would be section 1, this would be section 2, and we're going to keep this in H2 because this is a brand new section. So this is not nested underneath this subheading. This is its brand new section. So we would go back to the H2, which is a higher level heading. And then these you could make H3s because these are the next subheading down from section 2. And if you would like more information on the hierarchy of websites, you can Google HTML hierarchy or header hierarchy, and you can read up on how it functions and what that means for your website and how important that is for Google to read it properly. So now we have our site, which we'll preview again. Preview this page. Generating preview. And now we have our heading, subheading, content, new section heading, subheadings, content, content. We'll go back to the page. If we like this page, we will click Publish. Publish now. Or before publishing, if you look on the right-hand side, Visibility Public, Publish Immediately, we can click on this and we can choose to publish it in the future. So we can go to January 7th of 2021. We can change the time to, let's do 4 o'clock p.m. on January 7th. Schedule. Are you sure you want to schedule? This will tell you all the information that you need to know that it's going to be public and that it's scheduled at this time. You can change it from here. Click schedule. It is scheduling, and now our page has been scheduled. So this is not live on your site, but on January 7th, 2021 at 4 p.m., without us having to do anything else, this post will go live onto this page. Click back out. The next thing we'll look at is the media. So we have the library and add new. Add new is going to be selecting files or dragging and dropping. So it would be selecting a file. Let me see if I can grab one. I'm going to grab a picture, drag it up, and you can see it says plus copy. By letting go of the drag and drop, it is uploading that image. Or I can click on select files, and I can go to my desktop. I will grab this Zoom background image, click open, and now it is uploading this image. Now both of these images have been uploaded in two separate ways, one by dragging and dropping and one by clicking select file. We can go look at the library, and our images are here. This is the first image, and this is the second image. Now if you would like, you can go click right onto media, which brings you to this page that I was just on, and you can grab an image and you can drag it right to this screen. You don't have to click on add new. You get the blue background and you get the plus copy, which means that if you unclick or if you let go of the mouse button, it uploads the image. Now these files are here to be used in a post or a page. If you would like to create a gallery, we can use the Envira Gallery. This should be installed on your website. If not, you can search for it in plugins and add new. For now, we're just going to click on Envira Gallery, add new gallery, title this new site gallery, and we will select files from other sources, which is media library, or if we want, we can select files right from the computer, which means that we can grab images from our desktop or wherever else you have images on your computer, or if you've uploaded them already, select other files, media library. So we're just going to grab these three. I'm doing this by holding down the control button. It allows me to select multiple images. Once I select the images that I want, I will insert into gallery down in the bottom right hand corner. And here they are. You can arrange them any way you want. Configuration. Number of columns is going to be how many items you want, or how many columns you would like your gallery to be. We're just going to do automatic because then that will align your images automatically. And you're going to want to adjust, make sure this is left, automatic layout last row, meaning that if you have an odd number of images in that last row that don't equal up an entire row, they will be laid out from left to right. Here you can display the title and the caption of the image. Usually for the initial gallery view, you want to turn off the title. If you add a caption, so let's look at the gallery. We'll click edit. So here's the title. You can change the title. So we can make this Zoom background Packerland websites. We'll just label it Zoom, capitalize the B, background, caption. This is a background image. Save metadata, And now that information is saved to this image. Click the arrow to the right, and we go to the next image. And you can do the same thing. Change the title, add a caption, save, go to the next image. Once you're all done, you click the X. Now you can see that that has changed there. Continue down to configuration. We'll actually leave title and caption on so you can see what that looks like. Image size, try default first, and then if that doesn't look right to you, you can choose what size you want. I probably would not go more than medium, 300 by 300. By crop position, it means that if the image is bigger than 300 by 300, it will preview the image from the center out to 300 by 300 pixels, or you can choose, top left, top right, and that's where the image would start. But usually we choose center. Lightbox. So when you have a lightbox in your gallery, that means when you click on the image pops forward and blurs out the background and kind of creates a single focus on that one image to where you can then click left or right to view the other images. And here again, you can choose your theme. We'll do dark. Show title or caption. You can show none, title or caption. We'll show just the title. Image size should be default, unless you want them to be all uniform for some reason. Generally speaking, default is fine because it'll give the viewer the full image of what they're looking at. Loop gallery navigation. By having this check mark, that just means that as you click through, once you get to the end, if you click in that direction again, it'll start you over from the beginning. And this is just the effect from when you open or close the lightbox. So it'll fade forward or out or zoom in and out. Transition effect. So when you click left or right on the slides, this will give you some options as to how you want that to look when it slides out. We'll try tube just to give you a view of that. And this pretty much gives you all the explanations of what these other options are. So we are going to publish this. Now, next, we're going to need to grab this Envira code. This Envira Gallery ID equals 1273. You are going to click here, this little notepad, click on that, and that should copy the code, or you can highlight it, right-click, copy. Next, we're going to go to the page that we want to display this gallery. We're going to go to About Us Part 2, which is the page that is scheduled to be deployed on January 7th. We're going to click Edit. So we're going to edit the page. And now we want the gallery to be at the very bottom of the page, just for argument's sake. So we're going to hit the plus. Now, what we're going to be looking for is called shortcode. Click on the block, and now this new block comes up. It shows full width, and we're going to paste. So Control V puts in this block of code, which is called a shortcode. Preview, new tab, and here is our gallery. You click on it. Now the black background blurred out. We have our image. Click right, click left, zoom background is our title. This is our title, and as we go through, it will loop back around to the initial image. Down here we have all of the images in the gallery, and you can click back and forth. Click the X to exit. Now as you hover, you will see that there is the title and the description. Title, no description because we didn't add one. Title, title, title. Now we go back out. We want to schedule The page has been updated. We're still scheduled to be deployed on January 7th. Click out of the page. And now we're back to our last page that we were on, which is the general pages section. Click back to the dashboard. Go back to where our general information is. Click the little triangle to view the content of these boxes as you see fit. You can also drag them around so you don't have everything in one spot. It is very customizable. And with that, this is the end of the tutorial. If you have any other questions, you can go to team@packerlandwebsites.com and send us an email, or you can submit a contact form at packerlandwebsites.com. Go to the contact page. There's also a downloadable PDF tutorial at packerlandwebsites.com that is free for all of you to download and use. Thank you for viewing this. And if you have any questions, again, please email us team@packerlandwebsites.com.